Assalamu alaikum ji. My name is Humair Hashmi and I'm your instructor on organizational psychology. इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हम अभी तक 13 लेक्चर आप तक पहुंचा चुके हैं और आज 14वें लेक्चर की बारी है. Hopefully you are taking a look at some of the things that we have covered so far and hopefully you have done well in your quizzes that you've been receiving. याद रखिए, अगर आप साथ साथ पढ़ते चले जाएंगे तो आपको आसानी रहेगी. चलिए आज कुछ और बातें करते हैं परसेप्शन से ही रिलेटेड. लेकिन इससे पहले कि हम परसेप्शन से रिलेटेड कुछ और बातें करें, लेट अस रिव्यू व्हाट वी हैड टॉक्ड अबाउट इन लेक्चर नंबर 13. जरा अयादा कीजिए जहन में अपने. हम बात कर रहे थे परसेप्शन की और लेक्चर नंबर 12 और लेक्चर नंबर 13 जो हैं, पिछली 2 मरतबे आपने परसेप्शन के बारे में पढ़ा था. पिछली दफे हमने 3 चीजों का जिक्र किया था रिलेटेड टू परसेप्शन. याद आई आपको? जी हां. वन वॉज परसेप्चुअल डिफेंस, द अदर वॉज द सोशल नेचर ऑफ परसेप्शन एंड द थर्ड वॉज subliminal nature of perception. याद आया आपको? Perceptual defense से मुतल्लिक हमने आपको बताया था that one tends to deny certain things because they are contrary to the perceptual apparatus. हमने ये भी बताया था that one refuses to change one's perceptual apparatus, one's cognitive structure, even when the evidence might be to the contrary. And this is the process of perceptual defense. We defend our cognitive structure. We defend our already existing ideas, ideologies, thoughts. This is what is meant by perceptual defense. दूसरी चीज जो हमने इसमें पढ़ी थी वो थी social nature of perception. आपको याद आ गया होगा, हमने आपको बताया था that perception is socially determined. इससे क्या मुराद है कि हमारे घर बार का, हमारे दोस्तों का, हमारे बहन भाइयों का, हमारे असातिज़ा का, हमारे मिलने जुलने वालों का और हमारे मीडिया का हमारी परसेप्शन पे बहुत गहरा असर है. हमारी परसेप्शन जो है, हमारा इदराक जो है, वो इन्हीं चीजों से, इन्हीं एलिमेंट से बहुत हद तक डिटरमिन होता है. That is what is meant by social nature of perception. The perception is socially determined also. और तीसरी चीज जो हमने इसके बारे में आपको बताई थी, अयादा के तौर पर आपको फिर गुजारिश कर दूं, that was subliminal nature of perception. याद आया? That we allow certain elements to enter into our perceptual field without our being aware of them. And that is what is meant by perceptual subliminal nature of perception. ये तो था पिछली दफे का. चलिए अब इससे आगे चलते हैं और देखते हैं कि इन तमाम चीजों का ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर पर, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी पर क्या असर है. और इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में एक टर्म जो मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा वो है एट्रीब्यूशन. एट्रीब्यूशन इज that we learn to attribute certain characteristics, certain ideas, certain meanings to the things that we perceive. If we look at perception, we had defined perception in terms of sensation plus meaning. एक सेंसेशन हम रिसीव करते हैं और उस सेंसेशन को हम मानी का लिबादा उड़ाते हैं. वो मानी का लिबादा जो उड़ाना है, दैट इज द टेक्निकल टर्म फॉर दैट इज एट्रीब्यूशन. वी एट्रीब्यूट सर्टेन थिंग्स टू द सेंसेशंस दैट वी रिसीव, टू द स्टिमुलाई दैट come to our sense organs. कौन कौन से हैं हमारे सेंस ऑर्गन्स? कौन कौन सी सेंसेशंस है हमारी, आपको पता होगा, आपने जनरल और एक्सपेरिमेंटल साइकोलॉजी में पढ़ा होगा। सबसे अहम सेंस ऑर्गन जो है वो कौन सा है, हमारी आंखें। फिर कौन सा सेंस ऑर्गन है, हमारे कान, फिर नाक, फिर जबान। ये तो 4 सेंसेशंस हुई। 5वीं कौन सी है, टेक्चुअल, महसूस, एहसास करने की, टच की सेंसेशन। ये इन 5 जराए से स्टिमुलाई हमें रिसीव होते हैं। जब हमें इन 5 जराए से स्टिमुलाई रिसीव होते हैं तो हम उनको कुछ मानी पहनाते हैं, और वो मानी जो पहनाना है, दैट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ एट्रीब्यूशन। सो एट्रीब्यूशन is the other part of perception. We attribute meanings, और इसी को हम एक सेपरेट टॉपिक के तौर पे पढ़ते हैं, और फिर इसका देखेंगे कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी पे एट्रीब्यूशन, जो एक परसेप्शन का ही हिस्सा है, उसका ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी पे क्या असर है। एट्रीब्यूशन इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ गिविंग मीनिंग्स। यहां हम 2 किस्म की बातें आप तक पहुंचाना चाहेंगे। वन इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड डिस्पोजिशनल एट्रीब्यूशन। डिस्पोजिशनल एट्रीब्यूशन मीन्स दैट ए पर्सन attaches meanings to his sensations depending upon his internal or personality related factors. मिसाल के तौर पर आप जानते हैं that there are 2 kinds of people in psychology that C.G. Jung talks about. याद आया आपको, when we were talking about psychoanalysis and related schools in the history and development of psychology, we talked about a school established by C.G. Jung, a school called analytical psychology. Jung had described 2 kinds of people, the ones that he called introverts and the others that he called extroverts. आपको सब याद है? Introverts are those people whom nature has endowed with capacities to remain within themselves. They prefer their own company. They would rather like to go on walks than mix with other people. They would rather read books, watch television, go for long walks, or have hobbies than socially mix. And extroverts are those people, in Jungian theory, who prefer the company of others than being alone, who are more sociable, who are more social, who would rather have their dinner with somebody else than all by themselves, who read books but who prefer company of others and discussions and talking. Now, this is the 2 types of personality that Jung talks about, the introverts and the extroverts. Talking in terms of attribution, when we are talking about dispositional attribution, if we look at the attribution of the introverts, they would consider their sensations to be colored by themselves, by their personal factors. On the other hand, there would be extroverts whose attributions would revolve around others. Dispositional attribution, therefore, refers to attributions made in relation to personality factors. The other type of attribution that we talk about are situational attributions, where the cause of an event or the cause of a perception is attributed to external or social factors. Somebody who manifests dispositional attribution would consider himself to be responsible for his failure or success in life. And somebody who manifests situational attribution would consider other external factors such as existing conditions in the country, such as political upheavals in the country, such as tough examiners in the examination system, such as tough papers, as the cause of his failure in an examination. Those people who make dispositional attributions are people who hold themselves responsible for what has happened to them in their life, for what is happening around them, and those people who make situational attributions are people who hold other than themselves responsible for their life situations. अगर उनको कोई फेलियर का सामना है तो वो कहते हैं कि फेलियर की वजह एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स हैं, और अगर उनको कोई सक्सेस जिंदगी में मिली है तो वो ये समझते हैं कि उस सक्सेस की वजह एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स हैं. मैं अपने तुलबा से अक्सर इस बात की शिकायत करता हूं कि जब उनका मेरे कोर्स में ए आए तो वो डिस्पोजिशनल एट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं. हमने ए लिया है, मैंने ए लिया है, मैं पढ़ता रहा था सर इसलिए मेरा ए आया है. और जब उन्हीं तुलबा का डी या एफ आ जाए तो वो सिचुएशनल एट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं. सर आपने मुझे डी या एफ दे दिया है, सर आपने ऐसा पेपर बनाया था कि मेरा डी या एफ आ गया है. सो यू सी द डिफरेंस हियर. Dispositional attributions are when a person thinks he is responsible, and situational attributions are when a person thinks that external factors are responsible. अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी में एक शख्स किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कामयाब है and he is somebody or she is somebody who makes dispositional attribution, then such a person would say that his success is because he or she worked hard, because he or she kept consistently working at his or her task, and that is why he or she has achieved success in organization. That is an example of dispositional attribution. On the other hand, if somebody succeeds in organizations and he has this tendency of making situational attribution, such a person would regard his boss or the external conditions in the environment of the organization that have resulted in his success. He would consider, for instance, that the boss was favorable to him or her, that his colleagues were not so big in their task, and that is why he was promoted. What is he doing? He is making situational attributions. He thinks that external factors have resulted in his success, whereas a person who makes dispositional attributions would think that he or she himself is responsible. What kind of a person are you? Are you somebody who makes dispositional attribution? Or are you somebody who makes situational attributions? क्योंकि इसका भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी पर बहुत गहरा असर है. एट्रीब्यूशन से मुताल्लिक एक और चीज जिस पे आपको गौर करना है, दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल. लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल is a concept whereby some people think that they themselves control their lives and their life situations, and some other people think that life situations and external events control them. आपने एक और इसमें रेफरेंस में नाम सुना होगा, अगर नहीं तो आपसे गुजारिश कर दें. The person whose name usually is associated with the concept of locus of control is Julian Rotter. He put forward the view that humanity can be divided into two kinds of people. As Jung had said, I just described it for you. As Jung had said that there are introverts and that there are extroverts, in the similar manner, Rotters has said that there are people who consider that their locus of control is internal, and then there are people who consider that their locus of control is external. Those people who consider that their locus of control is internal consider themselves to be responsible for the success or failure in their lives. And those people who consider that their locus of control is external are people who consider other than themselves factors responsible for their success or failure in life. In other words, internals make dispositional attributions and externals make situational attributions. And that is the concept of locus of control. Attribution and locus of control concepts are related to a number of factors. Research has shown that attributions or locus of control, as I've just explained, has stability. What does it mean? Stability means that those people who make internal attributions remain stable in making internal attributions. Those people who make external attributions remain stable in making external attributions. That there is stability in the way attributions operate. This is what is meant by stability related to attribution. एक शख्स जो है, अगर वो ये समझता है कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल सक्सेस या ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल फेलियर उसके अपने वजह से है, तो उसका ये ख्याल जो है ये काफी अरसा तक उसमें कायम रहेगा. He would remain stable in considering himself as responsible for failure or success in organizations. This is what is meant by stability in attribution. एक और जो एलिमेंट है attribution का, that is consensus. Attributions are also determined by consensus. A person looks around himself, and if more and more people are making internal attributions, then he also tends to make internal attribution. If more and more people are making external or situational attributions, then he also tends to make external or situational attributions. Consensus in relation to attribution relates to those two factors that we talked about, dispositional and situational. If there is a large majority or a number of people who make dispositional attributions, then the probability is that a given person would also make dispositional attributions. And if people around someone make situational attributions, then the probability is that the person in question would also make situational attributions. मतलब क्या हुआ इस बात का कि एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में अगर ये ट्रेडिशन या कल्चर है कि लोग अपने सक्सेस और फेलियर को खुद अपना जिम्मेदार समझते हैं, तो फिर एनी गिवन पर्सन वुड फॉलो द सेम पैटर्न, द सेम ट्रेडिशन, द सेम एक्ट. और अगर किसी दूसरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में द कंसेंसस इज दैट पीपल कंसिडर सिचुएशनल फैक्टर्स in their attributions, then there is a probability, then there is a chance that any given person would go along that consensus, would go along the majority opinion and make situational attributions and say and would consider his success or failure on the basis of situational factors. ये दूसरी चीज है एट्रीब्यूशन से मुतल्लिक. एक और चीज जो एट्रीब्यूशन से मुतल्लिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी में आपको नजर आएगी, वो है कंसिस्टेंसी. वन इज कंसिस्टेंट इन एट्रीब्यूशंस. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि आज वन इज मेकिंग ए डिस्पोजिशनल एट्रीब्यूशन एंड टुमारो वन वुड मेक ए सिचुएशनल एट्रीब्यूशन. One tends to make attributions which are consistent, which are not only stable but also consistent. That if he has made an attribution in regard to an element or an event which is a dispositional attribution, then he would remain consistent in that dispositional attribution. If he has made an attribution which is situational attribution, then he would remain consistent to that situational attribution. Consistency, in other words, is also an element of attributions. And a fourth element of attribution is distinctiveness. Not only are we consistent in making attributions, we are also distinct in making attributions. That is, one also makes attributions which are contrary to the attributions made by other people around him. He makes attributions which are distinctive. So there is distinctiveness in attributions. अब ये बात आपको probably contradictory नजर आ रही होगी. जी हां, ऐसा ही है. It is contradictory to consensuous attribution. I have just said that we make attributions on the basis of consensus, but we also make attribution in terms of its distinctiveness. कहने का मतलब यह है that human beings do not always make attributions based upon consensus. They also make attributions based upon distinctiveness. And that is the fourth characteristic of attributions. Attributions may also involve some errors. भाई attributions जो हैं, ये हम में जो tendency है, all human beings share that tendency of attribution. This is not free of errors. Attributions also have errors. जब हम ये समझते हैं कि हमारी सक्सेस या फेलियर हमारी वजह से है, या जब हम ये समझते हैं कि हमारी सक्सेस या फेलियर बैरूनी हालात की वजह से है, तो ये इंटरनल या एक्सटर्नल एट्रीब्यूशंस हैं. लेकिन एट्रीब्यूशंस के प्रोसेस में एरर्स भी दाखिल हो जाती हैं, और हम आमतौर पे दो किस्म की एरर्स का जिक्र करते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ एट्रीब्यूशंस. आपका क्या ख्याल है? क्या आपकी एट्रीब्यूशन जो है उसमें कोई गलती का इम्कान है या नहीं है? Somebody who has a high perceptual defense, what would he consider? Would he consider that his attributions have error? Or would he not consider that his attributions are full of errors? आपने बिल्कुल ठीक अंदाजा लगाया. Somebody who is in denial or who has rigidity in his thoughts, in other words, whose perceptual defense is strong, he would consider that there are no errors in his attributions. Let us take a look at the errors in attribution. As I said, there are two types or two levels of errors in attribution. One that we call the fundamental attribution error. A fundamental attribution error relates to the error that all of us make all the time. We ignore evidence in making attributions. That is a fundamental attribution error. When we judge others and we ignore certain pieces of evidence in judging others, that is an example of fundamental attribution error. What do you think stereotyping is? When you stereotype others, what are you doing? You are judging them negatively. That is a fundamental attribution error. When you halo effect, you judge others positively. What is that? You are ignoring their faults and you are judging them based upon situational factors which you are not taking into consideration, the factors which may be contradictory to your judgment. When you judge others and ignore certain situational factors in judging others, that is called a fundamental attribution error. If you consider all inhabitants living in a country to be bad people, that is an example of fundamental attribution error. If you consider inhabitants living in a country all to be good, that is an example of fundamental attribution error. When you ignore certain factors in judging others, there might be pious people, there might be people who are good in a country, but when you judge everybody to be bad, ignoring those pious people, ignoring those good people, that is an example of fundamental attributional error. क्या आप करते हैं? जिस टीम के साथ आपकी सिंपथीज हैं, पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम जो है, that is judged to be the good team, and all other cricket teams are not judged to be as good because you are ignoring the positive factors in other teams and you are ignoring the negative factors in Pakistani cricket team. These are examples of fundamental attribution error. You consider your own organization to be a good organization and you consider the organization which is rival to your organization to be a bad organization. You ignore the fact that there are lazy people in your own organization, and you ignore the fact that there might be creative people in your rival organization. You are ignoring negativity in your own organization, and you are ignoring positivity in the competitor's organization. And these are examples of fundamental attribution error. अपने आप को, अपने घर को, अपने खानदान को, अपने महल्ले को, अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बेहतर समझना और उसमें जो नेगेटिव एलिमेंट्स हैं, जो नेगेटिव चीजें हैं, उनको इग्नोर करना, दिस इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड फंडामेंटल एट्रीब्यूशन एरर. क्या आप ऐसा करते हैं? दुनिया का हर शख्स ऐसा करता है. वी are entrapped in this. We have to be doubly careful that we don't make this fundamental attribution error. हर वक्त एक चीज को अच्छे समझना और उसमें अगर कोई नेगेटिव पहलू है या कोई बुराई है तो उसको इग्नोर करना, दिस इज fundamental attribution error, and this is a problem in perception. दूसरी जो error है in attribution, that relates to your own self, and it is called self-serving bias. Self-serving bias is when a person presents himself in his best attire, in his best manner. क्या कोई शख्स दुनिया में ऐसा है जो गलतियों से या कोताहियों से पाक हो? जाहिर है कि अगर वो इंसान है तो वो कोताहियां और गलतियां उसमें होंगी. बट वी हैव ए टेंडेंसी टू प्रेजेंट आवरसेल्व्स इन ए मोस्ट फेवरेबल मैनर, एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड ए सेल्फ सर्विंग बायस. हम अपने आप को हमेशा अच्छा ही बना के पेश करते हैं. हम अपने आप को ये नहीं कहते कि हम में फलां खामी है, या हमसे फलां गलती हुई, या हमसे फलां गलती हो सकती है. नो, वी डोंट से दैट. वी ऑलवेज प्रेजेंट आवरसेल्व्स इन द मोस्ट पॉजिटिव लाइट, एंड दैट इज द अदर attribution error called a self-serving bias. The fundamental attribution error and the self-serving bias are two important errors that occur in our attributions. And these are the pitfalls, these are the danger spots in our perception. इन दो मिस्टेक्स या एरर्स की वजह से हमारी परसेप्शन जो है दैट बिकम्स डिस्टॉर्टेड. वी इग्नोर एविडेंस बिकॉज वी ऑलरेडी हैव ए सर्टेन आइडिया, एंड वी प्रेजेंट आवरसेल्व्स इन द मोस्ट पॉजिटिव मैनर बिकॉज वी टेंड टू थिंक that our negativity would not be serving the cause of the organization as a whole. When these two errors, attribution errors, what are those two attribution errors? Number one, the fundamental, and number two, the self-serving, enter into our perception, we are on thin ice. Our perception is distorted. All great leaders, all great thinkers, all great psychologists have repeatedly warned against such errors in attribution. Such errors in attribution can lead a person into a dark alley. वो अंधेरे में गुम रहेगा क्योंकि वो अपनी एट्रीब्यूशंस में जो कॉन्ट्ररी एविडेंस है उसको इग्नोर कर रहा है. वो ये समझ रहा है कि एक शख्स जो अच्छा काम नहीं करता ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में वो कभी भी अच्छा काम नहीं करेगा, और इस एट्रीब्यूशन के तहत अगर दूसरा शख्स कोई अच्छा काम करके भी लाता है तो वो शख्स उसके अच्छे काम को इग्नोर कर देता है. और फिर if that person who is making these attribution error, if he happens to be in a supervisory position, if he happens to be in a managerial position, if he happens to be in a position where he has control over the career of the other person, then this attribution error is most damaging for other people. Because the person has made the attribution error that people working under him are not good workers, even when those people under him produce good work. He ignores that evidence and continues with his judgment, which is based upon his attribution error, and this attribution error may be a cause for a lot of heartbreak for people under him and damage to the organization as a whole. That is where the danger of fundamental attribution lies. On the other hand, the danger of the self-serving bias lies when a person presents himself in the most favorable light. Think of a hospital. Think of an operation theater. Think of a surgeon. And the surgeon is faced by a panel of experts, and the panel of experts want to check out if the surgeon can be a good team leader in the operation theater and can perform complicated heart surgery or not. If that surgeon suffers from the attributional error of self-serving bias, then what is that surgeon going to do? He is going to present himself as the best surgeon, even when that surgeon does not know the exact procedural steps involved in carrying out the operation. That kind of a situation would be most dangerous for the surgeon himself, for the patient, for the entire operation staff, for the entire hospital staff, because his inability to accept his shortcomings would not only negatively reflect upon him, this inability would negatively affect the entire staff in the operation theater and perhaps the entire reputation of a hospital. Think of a manager, think of an accountant who has presented himself in the most positive manner when they actually lack certain necessary skills to perform managerial duty or to perform the duty of an accountant. When they lack those skills, but they commit the attributional error of self-serving bias, what are we faced with? We are faced with a manager who is responsible for the career development of people who are working under him, and a manager who is responsible for the overall welfare of the organization. Such a person, lacking in certain skills, managerial skills, but presenting himself as a competent person, is most dangerous to the organization and the people under him. Such an accountant who doesn't know the intricacies of accounts would prove to be a most dangerous proposition for the account department as a whole and for the entire organization as a whole. So, fundamental attribution errors and self-serving bias are two important elements that you have to look at when you are talking about perception and when you are talking about perception in the organization. Attribution is attaching meanings to sensations. An attribution, in terms of attaching meaning to the sensation, forms a most important ingredient of the interactions in organizations. If the attributions carry errors, those errors could be the danger steps. Those errors in attributions could prove to be dangerous for the organization as a whole, particularly if those errors relate to people who are decision makers. Decision makers in organizations must be aware of their tendency to attribute, and decision makers in organizations must be aware of the attributions and the errors in attributions that they might make, because those errors in attributions would lead the organization towards the most negative path. Before we end today, let us take a look at what we talked about. In the context of perception, we talked about the process of attribution. Attribution relates to attachment of meanings, and attribution relates to two kinds of attributions. One that we call the dispositional attribution, and the other that we call the situational attributions. Dispositional attributions are when we consider the cause to be following or to be related to a person, and situational attributions refer to when we consider the cause related to the external factors. In that context, we invoked the theory of internal and external locus of control. I explained to you that, like Jung had said, mankind can be divided into two broad categories: those who are introverted and those who are extroverted. Introverted individuals or introvert personalities are those who prefer their own company, who prefer the company of very small group of friends, and extroverted persons or extrovert personalities are those who are sociable. Similarly, Roters considers that humanity can be divided into two kinds of people: those who consider themselves to be internally attributed and those who consider themselves to be externally attributed. What does it mean? That there are people who consider that the locus of control is internal, and there are people who consider that the locus of control is external. There are people who think that their success or failure in life is due to their own efforts. These he calls people who have internal locus of control. And those people who consider that their life success or their life failure is caused by external factors, them Roters calls the people who consider the locus of control to be external. So you have internal locus of control people and external locus of control people. Internal locus of control people make dispositional attributions, and external locus of control people make situational attributions. Internal locus of control people consider themselves to be responsible for their success or failure. External locus of control people consider situational factors to be responsible for their success or failure. Both of these types of people, internal and externals, make errors in attributions. And what are those errors in attributions? We talked about two types of errors of attribution: fundamental attributional error and the self-serving bias. इससे पहले उन errors का जिक्र करें, ये भी बता दिया था कि internal और external locus of control जो हैं, they are stable. They are based upon consensus that people are consistent, that people are also distinct in making these internal or external attributions, or internal or considering themselves internal or external so far as locus of control is concerned. Then we talked about attributional errors. Attributional errors relate to fundamental attribution error when contrary evidence is ignored. Suppose a person holds a view and then the evidence that he has is contrary to his view, but the person ignores that evidence, does not take into view that evidence. And that is an example of fundamental attribution error. This is an example also of, if you remember, perceptual defense. Somebody who denies evidence which is contrary to the held belief. If the held belief, for instance, is that the boss is a very honest man, and evidence is discovered that the boss in the organization has been taking bribes, but that evidence is ignored by a person, that would be an example of fundamental attribution error. That would be an example of denial in perception. The other error that we make in attribution is what is called self-serving bias. When a person presents himself only in a positive manner, that is called an attribution error, and within the attribution error, that is an example of self-serving bias. I also dwelt upon the fact that fundamental attribution error in organizations and self-serving bias in organizations can be very dangerous for the people in the organization, because ignoring evidence contrary to existing standards of belief is most dangerous. That could lead the organization toward self-destruction. Self-serving bias, when somebody presents himself only in positive manner, ignoring his shortcomings or her shortcomings, ignoring the inferiorities, the drawbacks that he or she may have, that would also be a very dangerous situation for an organization. Because if such a person who presents himself in the manner of self-serving bias, that kind of a person would not be an adequate leader or an adequate manager or even an adequate supervisor, because that kind of a person refuses to look at the inferiorities, the weaknesses, the drawbacks that a person may have. And that person, if put in a situation of leadership, that person could be a most dangerous person for the organization. We will talk more on attribution. Attribution, if you remember, is one of the important elements of how we attach meaning. We have gone into the depth of the process of attachment of meaning in perception. We will talk more on that in the next lecture. How we manage our impression in the organization. How we manage other people's attributions about us. That we'll talk about in the next lecture. Until that time, look after yourselves. Do read up on this. Khuda Hafiz. God be with you.